What's up, you guys? It's Jenessa Schreuder with the Danny Howell team, back again with another video. Today, I'll be breaking down the home buying process and how much it approximately costs in today's market. Last year, Realtor.com found that 72% of Gen Z wants to buy a home in the future. 43% of that population wants to do so within the next 5 years. Being a part of Gen Z myself, owning a home is also something that I want to achieve. But with the current inflation, it seems like a distant dream. I've seen tons of other people in my generation feeling the same way. But regardless of the economic state in America, it's still achievable. So today I wanted to give you a realistic scenario of what it looks like to buy a home in today's market. First things first, you'll need to get connected with a reputable lender in your area to get pre-approved. A few things they'll be looking at include confirming your place of employment, verifying your credit score, and looking at your debt to income ratio. This is only the first step of the loan approval process. There is a lot going on in the back end, and you may need to give additional documentation throughout the process. If you don't know whether you qualify or not, I still encourage you just to check. You never know if you never try. And if you're not ready, I have plenty of great lenders that can put together financial plans for you to follow to get exactly where you want to be. So you got your pre-approval and you're approved up to $200,000. Keep in mind, just because you're approved for that amount does not mean that that's what you need to spend. You want to be sure you're going over numbers with your lender to make sure you're comfortable with your monthly payment. Now that we've confirmed your budget, we're starting to tour homes. Most times your agent will put you on a safe search with homes in your criteria. That way you can get notified when anything goes live on the market. The home search stage could last 3 months or longer, so try not to get discouraged when you're touring homes for multiple weeks or you get offers rejected. The right one will come when it's time. We're officially under contract and the ball starts rolling. First thing on the timeline is turning in earnest money. Earnest money is basically money that you put down before closing to show that you're a serious buyer. In Missouri, it's typically 1% of the purchase price. In this scenario, we're under contract for $200,000. So the earnest money would amount to $2,000. Keep in mind this money goes towards your down payment at closing, and it's refundable unless stated otherwise in the contract. Within the first week or two of being under contract, you'll want to get an inspection done to determine the condition of the home. Depending on what kind of inspections you'd like to get done, it can range from $300 to $700. I always encourage to try and get as many inspections as possible so you can know what you're walking into before you buy the home. So far with this expense, it brings us to around $3,000 so far. Once the inspections are complete, we'll get a full report from the inspector. This report will go over all areas of the home and recommend specialists to come out if necessary. From there, we can determine if we need to renegotiate the contract, whether it be a price change or repairing necessary items found on the inspection report. However, if we get the report back and you just simply think it's too much for you, that is completely fine. You have the right to cancel and still get your earnest money back. Once we're past inspections and everything has been resolved, you'll then need to get with your lender to order the appraisal. The appraisal will determine the market value of the home to make sure that lenders aren't giving out more money than needed. This is a required step if you're obtaining a loan, and it costs about $500. Now, a few things can happen at this point. One, it could appraise for purchase price and we move forward with the contract. Two, it could appraise more than the purchase price and you automatically have equity in the home. Or three, it could appraise less than the purchase price, and in that case, we could go back to the seller to renegotiate down to the appraised value. Keep in mind that the seller does not have to accept this renegotiation. So if we can't come to an agreement, you have every right to cancel the contract and you get your earnest money back as well. After a month of being under contract, the underwriters have completed your approval and we are now ready to close. Let's do some quick math and figure out how much you'll need to bring to the closing table and how much you've spent in the process thus far. Your first expense was earnest money. In this case, it was $2,000. Inspection, around $700. Appraisal, $500. Closing costs. These are funds that you'll need to bring to the closing table for lending fees, title fees, and your prepaid items. This number can range varying on your price range and who you use as a lender. In this price range, it can range anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 just for closing costs. In this case, say we're approved for a 30-year fixed conventional loan. I would only have to put down 3% of the purchase price. So that would come out to be $4,000. Now you might be scratching your head asking, wouldn't it be $6,000? Well, if you remember the earnest money, it does go towards your down payment, and that is already in escrow, so we don't have to worry about that. So the amount that you would need to bring to the closing table is approximately $12,000. The amount of money that you've spent after closing is approximately $15,000. With that being said, I personally would have about $20,000 saved before I started looking at homes in that price range. I know $20,000 is a good chunk for many people, but with a goal in mind and making some financial sacrifices, it is definitely obtainable. I hope I've been able to spark some inspiration for some of you to get out of the renting cycle and get into something that you can truly call yours. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.